Hey everyone, let's talk about something that I think is really important and powerful that's completely transform your relationships in your life, okay? And if you want royal treatment, this is a secret sauce, you guys. So what we're going to talk about is not settling anymore and creating boundaries. And no, this is people are really fearful of this. You're not pushing people away. People are not going to leave you. I'm talking about manifesting the kind of love that you want to have, that you deserve to have. Okay, the kind of love where you feel respected, you feel heard, you feel safe, you feel taken care of, you feel like you can be yourself and you get spoiled, okay? As well as you're gonna feel like royalty. So stick with me because I'm gonna share how boundaries can change your perspective in life and how you can manifest a relationship that I just described, okay? And so many people struggle with them. Plus, I have a mini guide to help you guys get started today with it. So here's the thing, you guys. Like boundaries is this elusive term, and people sometimes don't even like to hear that word. Now, I'm going to share some success stories with you as well from some clients. And I want to tell you that I really struggle with this at first as well. You know, I'm a recovering people pleaser, and I just always putting people ahead of me. But once I started creating these boundaries, if you looked at any of my Instagram posts or my social media, you will see how I actually have a really amazing treatment, how I am spoiled, pampered, adored, taken care of, feel safe. All those things that I never thought were possible for me. And that all started changing once I started changing my conception of myself and setting those boundaries. So I want to share this with you guys because, and also not just with that, I've also seen this with so many clients. Okay, seen this transform. So once I realized this was a secret sauce for myself and changed it and started seeing the change in my own life and seeing that royal treatment that I wanted, not just only for my SP, but in business, with my family, with friends, you know, my whole life was manifesting this different treatment. And I also started, sharing this with clients as well, and started seeing their lives just transform. Because here's the thing, you guys, the way people treat you is a reflection of how you treat yourself. Okay, so if you're always feeling guilty and feeling like your needs don't matter, and that's kind of where I was going back and forth with my mind, like, am I asking for too much? And when I started thinking, am I asking too much, people started reflecting that back to me. Okay, if I start putting people ahead of me, therefore I didn't think I was important enough, subconsciously that was that belief that was going on, that I wasn't important enough or not deserving enough, or I would be mean, or whatever subconscious belief you have going on. I had some of those going on myself. That was going to be a reflection back to me. That's the essence of manifesting. Your external world, as you know, mirrors your internal world. Okay, and sometimes this is just on habitual repeat that we're not really understanding it because it's just so habitual and it is tied into our self-concept or our self-image, and that drives every action and thought that we think. So if you're constantly bending over backwards for others, or afraid of people leaving you, and you know that fear of abandonment, or you're saying yes when you actually mean no, or you're tolerating less than you deserve, or disrespectful behavior, or allowing people to mistreat you, you're sending a signal to the universe that says, I'm okay with this. Okay, but you are the universe. Okay, and remember, I also have a video that says the universe always says yes. So if the universe does not care if it's good or bad. All right, if you want it or not, it's going to just give you that dominant story that you're saying over and over again. Again, this is a subconscious belief that you're continuously saying over and over again. So we're transcending through that, quantum leaping through it to create that new reality. So when you start setting boundaries, you're telling the universe and everybody around you, I'm worthy of more. But you have to make the decision first, okay? You have to validate yourself first. And the shift, my goodness, it's magnetic. Like I said, it changes everything. It changes the way people see you, how you treat yourself. And those opportunities start coming your way once it happens, and all of a sudden it feels natural. You might be scared at first. I've seen clients, and I've been scared of it as well. But once you make that decision, start validating yourself and start seeing your worth and setting those sort of boundaries, your whole world's going to change, and people are going to mirror that back because they're just reflecting. They have no choice. They're messengers, okay? Those triggers, those things are messengers to you to say, hey, you know what? I can change these assumptions, okay, in my life. So here's a simple way to start. Take a moment, if you want to get out, your pen and paper, or you can just take a moment here. and reflect on where you've been over giving. Okay, so you can write about that. And I can tell you that was my identity, over giving, over giving, over giving, because there's a subconscious payoff for that. So for you, let's take a moment and reflect on that. Maybe it's in a relationship, a friendship, could be work, it could be a family. Just think about that. Now I want you to ask yourself, what would it feel like to say no in this situation? Would it be scary? I mean, I know that's how I felt. I was like, I was dying to the old man, as Neville Goddard said. I was dying of that, but I was sticking to the boundaries. And once I started doing that, because it felt like so tied to my identity to say, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. When I started saying no, it felt like I was just literally dying to the old man, my old version of myself. But I wanted to hold on because it felt like safe, right? It felt safe. But I knew I had to change this about myself, because everybody will change that once I change, will reflect that back once I change. So I understand if it's scary, but let's really have no judgment here and start thinking about this. Okay, so again, the feeling that might be coming up is discomfort. And literally, there's no judgment, because it's okay. Okay, it's your subconscious beliefs at play. But okay, they're just subconscious beliefs that we can change. But just imagine what it would feel like to say no. Okay, feel no when people accept you saying no. And start imagining people responding to meet your needs, to rise to meet your new standards that you've set. Okay, now let's be real. Setting boundaries doesn't always seem easy, like I've said. And here's why. Most of us have subconscious beliefs that tell us that setting boundaries make us unlikable, difficult, or selfish, or people are going to leave us with that fear of abandonment or fear of rejection. Maybe you've also, which I think I have, in the past I've worked through this, is been taught to equate love with self-sacrifice. Or maybe you've absorbed the idea that staying up for yourself means you're abandoned. Okay, there's all these different subconscious beliefs that we have going on here. These beliefs aren't really your fault. Okay, so don't beat yourself up if you're having these beliefs, because again, awareness is the best thing here. You need to be aware of them so you can change those assumptions. They're usually rooted obviously in our past experience, in our childhood condition. They also come from society, but guess what? As you know, there's neuroplasticity. We can rewire our brain. We can reprogram these. So when you start shifting those subconscious beliefs, you realize that boundaries aren't about being selfish. They're about showing yourself in the world that you deserve to be treated. And again, everybody's going to mirror that back when you make that decision for yourself. So again, you guys, and let me tell you, the results are incredible. Okay, when you hold boundaries, people start to respect you and value you more. It's crazy. I was so scared to do that. But again, once, like I said in the beginning of the video, once I started doing that, people started changing in my reality. They started rising to meet my needs, okay? They started prioritizing me, and you can have the same thing. So if you're not feeling like a priority or heard or understood, you can change this, and you can start by setting boundaries, right? You're gonna start feeling like a royalty. I promise you, this is a royal treatment, okay? Why? Because when you respect yourself, the world mirrors that energy back to you. It has no choice. It's not just a theory, you guys. It's the law. It's the manifestation law. By saying no to what doesn't align with you, okay? So if you're feeling like uncomfortable with something that's gonna tell you it's not aligned with you, you're creating space for a relationship and experiences that do. You can't keep saying yes to things that don't benefit you anymore. You can say no, understand that people are just reflecting you, and start, seeing your value and your worth. Okay, you're not pushing people away, whether you say it to them or internally. You need to make this internal shift first. Okay, you need to internally figure out what your standards are. So let me give you guys a simple way to start. Okay, I want again, we have our simple way we already said. So you're going to think, let's go back to what we said before. Let's re-practice this. Go back to what we said before. I want you to think, where have you been having your boundaries overstepped? Where have you been people pleasing? Okay, think about that. Where have you put somebody ahead of you? Think about that. No judgment here. All right, how's that feeling? Okay, now think about changing that. Think about standing up for yourself. Does that feel uncomfortable? Okay, if so, start making those intentions that everybody listens to you, that your needs are important, that people always listen to your needs. But again, you have to do this internally before it is reflected externally, and that can be difficult for people. That's where sometimes the scariness comes in and people don't change because they're afraid. But I'm telling you from experience, from my own life, that you can have that royal treatment. You can be spoiled, you can be adored, you can have that princess, queen, king, whatever treatment you're looking for by doing this. Okay, let me also give you another example of a client. A client was coming to me and she was basically just taking less than she deserved. I could go in the whole story, but she was being stood up on New Year's. The person was only text her when he wanted to text her. And she was afraid to stand up for herself. You know, she was afraid that he was going to leave her. And again, the treatment was just horrible of like having plans on New Year's and like canceling the plans on New Year's at last minute and then wanting to see her the next day or maybe meet up, you know, when the ball drops. But, you know, that's it was not good behavior. Would she drop everything for him? He was wishy-washy or didn't want this commitment with her. Basically, he was setting the standards and she was going along with it with fear of losing him. So once she made that internal shift and realized her value, that he wasn't going anywhere, that he was only reflecting back what her thoughts were about it and her fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, you know, it was scary for her. She started setting small boundaries with him and, you know, being vulnerable and open. And as soon as she started doing that, he started coming towards her, okay? Better than ever, apologizing to her, bringing her flowers, talking about commitment, holding, you know, because a time is also your time is a boundary. So if someone's not like respecting your time and calling you at odd hours or, you know, breaking plans with you, they're breaking your boundaries. So that was a boundary as well as some emotional boundaries that were being crossed. So we work through some things to, you know, she feel comfortable internally and validating herself. And again, he externally changed after that. As well as another client who was feeling like she could not, like her SP was being very disrespectful to her, saying some horrible things to her, putting her down, calling her some names. She was feeling taken advantage of, you know, which is a sign that your boundaries are being crossed when that happens as well. So she was able to finally, with, you know, validating herself, seeing her self-concept, her self-image, realizing this behavior was wrong, she was able to change that, okay? She was able to actually talk to him. And again, he started changing, like totally in front of her eyes, started like, she just felt heard. Her words were, I felt heard and understood. All right, and you guys can do the same exact thing. Okay, I promise you. And I could go on and on with so many different clients in my own experience with this. But if this resonates with you guys, because this video is getting really long, if this resonates with you guys, I've created a free mini guide to help you take the first step towards setting those powerful boundaries. So if you want it, just comment boundaries below, and I'm gonna have to have your email though. So if you comment boundaries with your email, or you can also email me and with the word boundaries, and I'll put my email in the description, and I'll send you that free guide so you can start on this right now, okay? And also, if you want to dive even deeper, I've created this course. That's why I created this course, okay? It's the Boundary Blueprint. It is the way to manifest being spoiled, being adored, being pampered, having that royal treatment, okay? It's gonna help you stop settling for less. So you're gonna manifest your dream life, okay, with this. Dream life with money, with your relationships. It's going to be exactly what you need. I'm going to guide you. It's going to be a group coaching call where I'll guide you through those blocks. We're going to look at those subconscious blocks, really dive deep into this, and create a life where you feel like you are royal, king or queen, and shift through that. Like I said, 6-week coaching call, group coaching call. We also have a private community. We go back and forth with that as well. I do have payment plans for that, Affirm, Afterpay. You can do that, as well as I have created different payment options as well. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. 6 weeks, private community. You'll be having question answers from me. And I'll put that description link below. So again, you guys, boundaries aren't just about saying no. They're about saying yes to you, to the love, respect, abundance, money that you've always wanted. And the best part, the transformation starts the moment you decide, okay, that you're ready. It doesn't have to take forever either. So again, comment boundaries or email me to grab your free guide, and let's start creating this life that you want to create. Start creating where you have the royalty, okay? The royalty where you are being treated like that king or queen that you deserve to be treated by. treated like, okay? Also, if you want to work one-on-one, I do have some spots. I'll put that in the description as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. I cannot wait to connect with you and help you guys achieve, step into your power, because you are powerful. You are the equation to turn everything around in your reality, and I'm here to help guide you guys through that. All right, you guys, have a great day.